Breakouts. Schools in Los Angeles this morning are reopening today following a terrorism threat that caused officials to cancel classes yesterday, caused a major disruption throughout the city. I want to bring in terrorism analyst right now, Matthew Graham. Matthew, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Was it the right call yesterday to close the schools in L.A.?
Absolutely. When we have to err on the side of caution, children legitimately are our greatest national resource. So for America to continue to exist, we need to have children. So it's absolutely the right call to make.
So what are we going to do every time we hear a threat, close schools and stop what we're doing and freeze up?
No, but every time something comes in that appears credible and looks credible, then we need to take it seriously. So at some point, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, but the New York Police Department got an almost identical threat and immediately ruled it a hoax. And so when you have those two side by side, you do have to, because again, if you're constantly overreacting or don't have the ability, it really speaks to the ability of not being able to identify what was a hoax.
Well, New York did do that. L.A. went the other way. So somewhere in the middle is a responsive reasonableness. Also, remember in San Bernardino, we didn't have any indicators and any clue. So in dealing with a new threat, in dealing with the new manifestation of what this war is here in the United States, we have to be able to look at things and be responsive to things. And I think Los Angeles did the correct decision.
How do we do it, though? I mean, the topic of terror and fighting ISIS took center stage at the presidential debate last night. Are we doing the right things in order to stay on top of this threat? First off, I've got to get your reaction to this. Take a listen.
Our enemy is not violent extremism. It is not unnamed malevolent force. It is radical Islamic terrorism.
We need to destroy ISIS in the caliphate. That should be our objective.
When we get back in the White House, we will fight terrorists and win again, and America will be safe.
We have to be much tougher. We have to be much stronger than we've been.
Who do you think is the strongest candidate when it comes to national security, Matt?
Well, the strongest candidate is going to be the person that takes the fight to where the fight needs to be. So I don't know that we've seen that yet. I know a lot of people are willing to do that. What needs to happen is we are in a fight with radical jihadists. We know where they are. We know where they train. We know what supports them. And we need to take the fight there. We sent 50 special operations forces into the Middle East, into Syria. We need to increase that tempo. We know the threat. We need to eliminate the threat. Otherwise, we're going to continue to see it manifest here. And we're not ready for that. We are not ready. The enemy sent two, we can look at it as the enemy sent two individuals into San Bernardino. They trained, they equipped themselves, they planned their attacks, they set their timeline, they executed their attacks, and they ultimately got away with it before being caught. We are not prepared for that here in America.
Yeah, we're not prepared because we you know, up until now, we weren't even looking at social postings, right? So, I mean, how will we be prepared? You say take it to where the fight is. That's not necessarily only on the ground in Syria and Afghanistan. That's on the internet. How do we do it?
Well, we take it to the individuals that are perpetrating the idea that fundamentalist Islam is going to take over the world. We take it to the fight. So we, from an intelligence standpoint, know the top 100 players in the radical jihadist cult. We know who they are. We list them out. The president right now has a list, a targeted killing list, and we're using drones to affect those threats. Was Malik on that list?
Was Malik on that list?
No, but if you eliminate the people on that list, then those like Malik will start to change their mind.
How come we haven't done it yet?
Well, we don't have an administration that is seriously in the fight, and we have candidates last night that talked about it, but it needs to be, we need to put bullets on bone. We have the list. We need to start systematically working through that list. When you start to eliminate enough people that believe in that ideology, then other people won't act.
Let's get Kevin Kelly in here. Kevin.
Hey, Matt, so you talk about bringing the fight to them and actually taking them head on. We saw in the debate last night there was back and forth, especially about a no-fly zone. How does that policy impact our fight against ISIS?
Well, our fight against ISIS isn't just limited to a no-fly zone area. Our fight against ISIS, those 100, that top 100 list is global. It goes to areas of the Middle East. It goes to Asia. It comes to the United States. It's in Europe. So as we approach this, we really need to decentralize our look on it. We need to maximize our special operations and intelligence apparatus. We need to send people to do work in the night all over the globe. And once that happens, we've not done it. We've done it a little bit. We've launched some drone strikes. We've done some direct action missions. We need to take that leash off. We need to start hitting systematically down that list. As someone gets crossed off that list, we bump people up. And eventually, we get to where that balance comes.
So should we assume that we're not going to defeat ISIS until a new president gets into office? The president just went to the Pentagon the other day. He came out of that meeting and said, no strategy change.
We should assume we're not going to defeat ISIS in our lifetime. It's been going on for 1,000 years. Unless we make attempts to eradicate radical Islam, we will not defeat it in our lifetime. We need to look at this realistically. Cohen last night on Fox News talked about draconian measures, and that's exactly what needs to happen. We are at war. The war is here. 2 operatives came to San Bernardino and killed 14 people. What more do we need to do?
Yeah, so you think there are cells in this country right now waiting for direction?
Well, the FBI said they're tracking over 900 people, and I don't think they're tracking them. Obviously, there are cells here.
Matthew, this was a scary conversation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Matthew Graham joining us there. The force has awoken.